Pressure has increased dramatically on the British Prime Minister in the last few hours with the sudden resignation of another member of his cabinet, the third in 3 days. The Works and Pensions Secretary, James Purnell, made his announcement in a letter to the Times newspaper, in which he called on Gordon Brown to stand down. A Downing Street spokesman said Gordon Brown was disappointed by the resignation, but will focus in the coming days on restructuring the government. The leader of the main opposition Conservative Party, David Cameron, said James Purnell's resignation showed the government falling apart in front of our eyes. Our political editor, Nick Robinson, reports.
How much longer should Gordon Brown stay in number 10? That is the question the Labour Party is now being forced to address. Thanks to the resignation of the Work and Pensions Secretary, James Purnell, who, unlike previous cabinet resignations, is clear and explicit. He wants the Prime Minister to go. Tonight, a senior backbencher, the chairman of the School Select Committee, Barry Shearman, says that many Labour MPs think his time is up.
I think there is widespread disquiet about his style of leadership. He's had good chances to show that he's got the real qualities, and I think he's come out lacking some of them. So I think we're going to have a vote, and if we do have that vote, we'll get a new leader.
MPs, though, should not be forced to denounce their leader in public, he says. They should instead be given the chance to give their verdict in private.
I'd like a secret ballot of the Parliamentary Labour Party to see if Gordon Brown still has the confidence of the other party.
Would you expect that secret balance to back Gordon Brown, or to ask him to step aside?
I think he would be asked to step aside if people were allowed a free vote.
After Hazel Blear's surprise resignation yesterday, the question was who would be next. Surely the rumour went it would be her friend, the Europe Minister Caroline Flint. Tonight, she made her position clear, after, I'm told, some indecision. And she is backing Gordon Brown.
I am staying in the government. I have spent, my entire ministerial career for 6 years now, serving both Tony Blair and now Gordon Brown. And I'm very proud to be in a Labour government. I'm very proud to be part of Gordon Brown's Labour government.
Ministerial opinion has hardened for Gordon Brown today. One cabinet minister told me the timing and manner of Hazel Blear's departure was a dream for Gordon Brown. She forced people to make their minds up, and the answer is no. Another told me people have looked over the precipice. They've decided it's too ghastly. It's simply too unpredictable. Today, voters had their chance to give their verdict not on Westminster or Gordon Brown, but on who should run county councils and the European Parliament. But every political leader knows they're the biggest test of public opinion this side of a general election. A guide to how big a crisis the Prime Minister faces.
We as political classes are going to get a clip round the ear tonight and a very clear message from the British public that they want the expenses system at Westminster fixed and fixed fast, and they want us to return our focus and our fire on accelerating the economic recovery. And that's exactly what Gordon Brown is focused on doing.
Before he can do that, Gordon Brown faces the problem of reshaping his cabinet in a way that doesn't make his problems even worse. The Communities Secretary, Hazel Blears, has already resigned. So too has the Home Secretary, Jackie Smith. Tonight, the future of the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Alistair Darling, is still in doubt. His friends believe that he would rather leave the cabinet than be moved, as Gordon Brown's advisers want. Today, the Prime Minister had a message to the owner of a rather famous black Rolls-Royce. You're hired. Sir Alan Sugar's unlikely to agree to be a minister, but looks set to take on another role. After tonight's news, time does appear to be running out for Gordon Brown. Nick Robinson, BBC News, Westminster.
Well, for the opposition finance spokesman, the Shadow Chancellor George Osborne called for Gordon Brown's immediate resignation and an immediate general election.
Well, the government is falling apart. The cabinet have deserted the Prime Minister. And the question now is, when are we going to get the general election? Because it would be intolerable to have another unelected Prime Minister. We need to have a general election. And I think the last act of authority that Gordon Brown has left is to go tomorrow to the Palace, call for that general election and involve the public in the decision about who leads their country in the future.
Danny Alexander, an MP with the other main opposition party, the Liberal Democrats, said James Purnell's resignation proved that Gordon Brown's position was no longer tenable.
This does follow on from other resignations. James Purnell is a serious figure in the mainstream of his party, and it's clear from what's being said elsewhere that many other people in the Labour Party feel likewise, that they've lost confidence in the Labour Party's ability to govern, and I think the people of this country have lost that confidence. I think there's no excuse now for not having a general election so the people of this country get to decide who is the government, who is the Prime Minister.
Well, we can talk now on the line to Margaret Beckett, a senior member of the Labour Party. Thanks for joining us here on BBC News. Can I just first of all get your reaction to this latest news?
Well, I think that Gordon Brown's continued leadership is essential for the party and also for the country. We're in the throes of the worst recession, we're told, and there seems no contest about that, for 60 or 70 years. And I can think of no one better fitted to steer us through it.
Labour's never sacked a leader before. Are we about to witness history being made in the next few days, do you think?
No.
What makes you so sure?
It would be madness. And it would also be the problems for the people of this country are not the problems of internal political disputes, nuances of disagreement about how you handle this, that, or the other. The problems facing the people of this country, like every other country in the world, are the problems of an unprecedented global recession. I mean, in the last few days, we've seen the results of the German economy, twice as big a fall in their GDP as in this country. The same thing in Japan. In Germany, this was unexpected. In Japan, not so much.
Okay,
Only about 2 days ago, there was an article in The Guardian written by the Prime Minister of Spain.
Okay, if I can just, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but if we could just get back to the story which we're leading on here, which is the resignation of James Purnell.
This is what the story should be about.
Well,
the real crisis facing the people of this country.
Okay, that is obviously your opinion, but we here are leading on this resignation. You say in the last few days that there has been this crisis brought to head in European politics and the economy, but in the last few days domestically, 3 members of Gordon Brown's cabinet have stepped down. Now, what is it about Gordon Brown that's the problem?
I think this is a completely misplaced reading of the situation. Jackie Smith, it is clear, had decided some considerable time ago that she didn't wish to remain in the government. I am sorry for Jackie. She's been through some very difficult times, much of which she's handled extremely well, but it's quite clear that she had decided not to stay in government, and I think a lot of people will understand that. Hazel has had her own difficulties and has chosen just now to stand down, but this is not a crisis of the cabinet. This is some individuals making their decisions in their own circumstances, and it is the media. Up until tonight, I thought, to be honest, that it was completely a media storm. If it is the case that James was feeling he couldn't stay in the cabinet, then I accept there is more to it than that. But the notion that this is the great issue that confronts the people of this country, it's not. It's their jobs that matters to them. It's their homes, and that is what this government is addressing, should be, and no one better fitted than Gordon Brown to lead us in doing that.